let's throw it back to you.
So before we went for the break, I had actually said that there are only two people in my assessment who have remained true to the vision of Linda Mwananchi. And I noticed how we all jumped. But allow me to just explain what I'm saying. And I'm glad we went for the break, because then I got to understand where I depart from Gaira's thinking. I said Babu and
Orengo.
And Orengo. And the reason I'm saying this is because, for me, I'm not looking at who's shouting the loudest about Linda Mwananchi and who's saying the most about the dream for Linda Mwananchi, for example. I am looking at the people who are investing their resources in Linda Mwananchi. I'm looking at the people who have continued to speak the same language. I'm looking at the people who have not developed new ambitions from the ones they announced at the beginning of the Linda Mwananchi brigade. And when I start looking at that, I have to also begin looking at who has made friends and what kind of friends they have made. Now, where I depart from Gaira is because, for me, when I look at the opposition, I'm not looking at the opposition as Linda Mwananchi separate from United Opposition. Kenyans have said one thing: if you want to beat the current president, come together as an opposition and give us who? One candidate.
One candidate.
And for that reason, for me, I'm not separating Rigiji, Wiper, and whoever from the opposition. I'm actually saying amongst all, let me call them noisemakers for now, all the noisemakers in the opposition right now, they should be figuring out how they're going to get one candidate who Kenyans are going to vote for. Now, who has Kenyans put their dreams on? A number of people for presidency. And of course, let's just speak about some of the big names for now. We are all saying Mimi Sifuna, right? When Sifuna was in trouble with his party, which was also Babu Owino's party, you know it was costly to align with him. Babu stood with him in the party. Before he could even be outside with anybody, he stood with him. He accepted to be seen with him outside of the party. And so for me, if you're looking for your friends, this one who stood with you in need is a friend indeed. The other person who sacrificed his career, and he's sacrificing until today, is Orengo. He's paying a huge price on the ground because he's being told he doesn't care about the county. He's busy focusing on Linda Mwananchi.
Yeah.
He's paying a price for it. People who are paying the price and accepting to walk that journey. And then I start looking at other people and I'm saying, you had those friends at the beginning. You're beginning to make alignments, especially for me, that may be dangerous for Sifuna, where you're now being made a village kingpin. Again, when you started off as a national treasure for Gen Z, you know. So for me, I have just been watching the friends who are constantly pulling him towards the sun, and the weekend was a climax for me. when every Tom, Dick and Harry was lifting up his arm and saying they support him and everything. Even the kind of support you get determines whether you continue being the quality kind of candidate that Kenyans are looking for. Gaira's party believes in new people, like get rid of all the corrupt people, let them all go home and bring in new people. And so for me, when I see people who may not necessarily have a clean record associating with a candidate who we are propping, for example, as a presidential candidate, I worry. I worry because we are then saying that we will have a government that may have the same kind of people who are eating like the ones who have been found in President Ruto's government. And so for me, the question I'm asking myself is, if you're not gathering, this is very biblical, then you're scattering. If you're not gathering, then you're scattering. Where I depart from PM party is that you're looking for, you're Puritan and you're looking for clean people. But this political arena currently is not offering clean people. And the way the tussle is going, it will be impossible to have all clean, but it's possible to clean out the worst of them and make sure they're sent home. Where do we meet in that conversation? Because if you continue working, if you continue working towards your trajectory, it basically means we are not going to get a commonality, number one. Number two, if you decide, for example, that you're going to set up a political party now, which is what Sifuna is doing, some of the assignments you have to do as we approach the election is popularizing that party, working to set up that party so that it's a factor in the next election. I think anybody who does not have a party by the 31st of August is wasting time. Because you can't be running a presidential campaign and still be trying to popularize a party. It's a lot of work, requires a lot of resources. If you have money, you can make it happen because you can pay people to do it as you run around campaigning. Last time I checked, we are fundraising for Mimi Sifuna, right? And so the ambition of actually, trying to set up a party and do all these things may not necessarily be something that works, right? Now, Babu said he's going to be governor. Babu has walked with this gentleman when he was in trouble. Babu has gone everywhere with him. Orengo has gone everywhere with him. They literally became the three faces that were showing up for Linda Mwananchi everywhere they went. Babu has paid the price in terms of even being attacked by people, constantly hearing that his supporters are being arrested and he has to go to court and defend them alone. It's not that all these other people are not lawyers. He's the one who's showing up for him. Orengo getting in trouble constantly, being called out constantly. For me, I'm now looking at what price are you paying to associate with the opposition.
But the same Orengo who went, according to what we see, to then go and bring in someone who may not be Puritan to join the faction at the same time.
And that's why for me I'm saying let's assess all the friends that are being made by everyone, number one. Number two, let us check whether they are gathering or scattering. Because if you're not gathering the vote, it means you're not working for the purpose of this mission. The mission was to bring the opposition together, give us one person, let's form a government with a different person, and hopefully we send home all the people who are corrupt, all the people who have robbed Kenyans, all the people who have killed Kenyans, and allow the new person that we are voting as president to have quality people to choose from. One of the biggest problems that Ruto has today is that he does not have quality friends. I've said it in this studio before. And so everybody he has appointed to work for him keeps on messing up because they're not quality human beings from the start. And so the mission was to make sure that Linda Mwananchi has quality humans, so that when you're forming government, you're choosing from amongst the better of the lot, not the best of them. Because if we were to nitpick, we will find sins that have been committed by every single one of those individuals. But then we are saying that as of now, there are friends that are being made that are a complete baggage for this movement. And their records may not be seen now, but in a short while, I dare say, by the end of October, you will begin to see how their proclivities, the things that they are aligned to, are going to start showing up. And for me, that is where I worry. The whole of last week I kept on saying we must protect the hearts of Gen Z. Because when they get this news, they'll be very dejected, they'll be very disillusioned. Majority of the millennials who are used to saying, you know what, these things are not going to change, let me enjoy my peace, are actually going to let these things slide. And the moment we do, the person who's going to be winning is the person we don't want to see winning in the coming election.
It's definitely.
I'm also saying, and I started off by saying that, follow the money. Follow the money. Kenyan voter, follow the money. Check who is having conversations with your preferred candidate in the morning and who's having conversations with them at night. Follow the money. If they don't have the means, friendships and associations to be able to fund their ambitions, sit back and ask questions. We have time to ask questions. Sit back and ask questions. And when we come to the next election, Kenyans must be punitive, very punitive. Anybody who looks like they're playing games with the elections should be punished accordingly. And they should be punished by being sent home. Let them watch us form government from outside. If we don't do that today, if we don't do that today, if we don't check the alliances that are forming within the opposition and check where they are going, we are going to be in a lot of trouble as a country, because what we are going to miss is the nuances that the politicians actually want us to miss. This is a whole game. There are several layers to it. Every day you're allowed to see the layer they want you to see. When the other layer makes sense, they allow you to see that layer, and then they depart from the mission that they have set. Also, a reminder, for example, to the person who's being propped up as presidential candidate today, Sifuna, that when you make friends when you're in trouble, sometimes those friends are the wind under your wings. And departing from them may actually means that you've set yourself up to fall from very far high. The foundations of his fame right now are not quite strong. He needs to do a lot of work to fortify that foundation, because he had not thought about the presidency. He knows, he can admit to you. He needs to fortify that foundation, and the kind of friends he's making will determine whether that foundation will stand or not. Anybody who comes to his camp today, who is associated with the oppressor, is going to leave him without feet to stand on. He must carefully choose his friends even as he's going. Just because you have been named presidential candidate does not mean that now everybody can be your friend and you can carry all kinds of friends. It requires a special kind of talent to know who will carry the burden you have and who is